Ladies and gentlemen, Combat Sports Live starts now with your hosts Jeremy Ridgway and Charles Crumpler.
Thank you, Thomas McHugh. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Combat Sports Live. I am your host, Jeremy Ridgway. With me is my partner in crime, Charles Crumpler. We are going to be covering all of the pertinent sports information that has to do with mixed martial arts over the next hour. We've got a lot to talk about. We're going to be doing the Combat Sports Live postmortem analysis of Mayweather versus Mosley, probably the biggest boxing event in the last 2 years, I would say, that occurred last weekend. We're going to go over that. We've got upcoming events. We've got UFC 113, probably the most anticipated rematch in recent history, Shogun versus Machida 2. We're going to be going over that. We're also going to be talking about Major League Boxing at JF this weekend. We've got the big local boxing event, Scott Cujo-Sigmund will be fighting this weekend, and Jennifer J. Wood, and a couple other very popular local boxers. We're going to be talking about that. And coming up later in the hour, we're going to be talking with Marcus Davis, calling in from Montreal, Canada. He is preparing for his fight this evening with Jonathan Goulet. He is in the zone right now, but he's taking time to give us a call. Marcus, the Irish hand grenade Davis, a very popular fighter. He's been to Lynchburg a couple of times for our local mixed martial arts events. We're going to be talking with him and finding out what is on his mind as he prepares for probably the most important fight of his professional career in the UFC. It's a very important fight for him this evening, so we're going to be talking with him. So with us in the studio today, my partner in crime, Charles Crumpler. Also visiting with us today, Jamie Ridgway, the local martial arts master in Lynchburg, Virginia, is coming to the station with us today. Charles, I just wanted to get your thoughts on the Floyd Mayweather-Mosley, Sugar Shane Mosley event over the past weekend. We had a chance to watch. That was a very, very good boxing match, very highly anticipated. What would you say were the highlights of that fight?
Well, first of all, it was a very high-profile, high-hyped event, and at the end of the night, I think it lived up to all of its billing. Floyd Mayweather he's just phenomenal. Something happened, I guess, in the second round that hadn't happened to him a lot, but like most champions, when you get hurt, you change up, you fix what's wrong.
That's right.
The corner did their job. He came out, and from round 3 to 12, he boxed Shane Mosley to the point where it wasn't even close. I mean, you had 10 shutout rounds at the end of that, and it was a lopsided, unanimous decision. But I think that it was a great showing. It showcased some of boxing's finest talent,
mm-hmm.
and it can show you the difference between your top guy and number 2. And you've seen a lot of that in UFC also with GSP. There's a big difference between the number 1 guy and the guys that are number 2 and 3. And Floyd Mayweather just showcased his talent.
Certainly, and that's something that you see time and time again. Talking about the number 1 guy. One great way to describe it is he takes an extraordinary fighter and he makes him look like an ordinary fighter. We did see some drama in round number 2 when Mayweather's knees buckled. He was clearly hurt, dazed, almost went out.
Thought he was done.
Thought he was done. And I know that I stood to my feet and I was like, oh my goodness, we're seeing history. Kind of reminiscent of Fedor's last fight when I thought that he was going to get knocked out, but he didn't.
And that's why you had all those pay-per-view buys, and that's why you had everybody hyped about it, because everybody really, really wanted to see. I know Mayweather has his followings, but he talks so much trash that I think people buy tickets and buy pay-per-views to see him get beat.
Certainly.
And he's a businessman. He knows it. After the fight, he was very respectful to the sport, to his opponent. The man's brilliant. He's not only brilliant in the business aspect of it, but he's brilliant in the ring, and it is what it is. He took it to him.
Well, wrapping with that fight, I could debate, Mosley's age as compared to Mayweather's age. Mosley's up in his upper 30s, but he's still a great fighter. It was still a fight that was worth, I think, the money and the hype. I think boxing is on a somewhat of a comeback in terms of being, more relevant, more prevalent in the combat sports arena. You're starting to see a higher frequency of events, but everybody still wants to see Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather. Will it happen? We don't know.
The pot just got bigger. Boxing's coming back to JF tonight with Major League Boxing. Scott Cujo Sigmund, Jennifer J. Wood, Josh Juice Roberts.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be fighting, locally. And
Don't forget about Mobad.
Yeah, I just forgot about Mobad.
No, I like Mobad.
Yeah, and Maurice Chalmers, Mobad.
Mobad's going to be mixing it up in the ring and the Major League Boxing promotion. Jefferson Forest High School. And if you're in the area, definitely join me and Charles. We'll be sitting right out front with the Combat Sports Live crew, watching that fight ringside. We're very much looking forward to seeing Cujo put on another great fight. These boxing matches and regional mixed martial arts and regional boxing is so important to the sport in the regional and national level. This is where these guys earn the ability to rise to the upper level, and it's your opportunity as fans to see up and rising stars, fighters that are on their way to the top. Catch them now before they become famous. So, ladies and gentlemen, come on back. Stick with us through the break. We're going to be talking with Jamie Ridgway from the Renaissance Academy of Martial Arts. We're going to be analyzing tonight's UFC event, UFC 113. A ton of great fights on the card. One of the most anticipated rematches of all time. With Shogun versus Machida. You've also got other great fights on the card like Kimbo Slice versus Matt Mitrione, Marcus Davis, who we'll be talking with at the bottom of the hour. He'll be calling from Montreal. He is fighting Jonathan Goulet. We'll get his thoughts on the event, so stick around. We'll be right back with round number 1 of Combat Sports Live.